Hello, everybody. I'm Mario Linhares, and I'm broadcasting from Cabo Frio, Brazil. And I'm in touch with Dr. Florian Kongoli from Pearson International Airport in the city of Toronto. Yes, he is at the Air Canada Maple Leaf Business Lounge, where he's waiting for his flight to the beautiful country of Brazil, where I am right now, actually. So, good evening, Dr. Florian. It's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
Good
In
evening,
Toronto, right?
Mario. Yes, it's 10 p.m.
It's a little
10:10.
past midnight in Brazil, actually, in the
Yeah.
capital, Brazilian Cabo Frio. Yes, we're in the capital time zone. So here it's a little past midnight, 9 past midnight, as a
So
matter of
what's
fact.
the weather like there? What is it?
Oh, it's very
What I should
hot,
expect?
very
What's
hot.
the
I
temperature?
hope you didn't bring many winter clothes to Brazil
No, no.
because it's quite hot.
The temperature here is -2.
-2. Oh, you're going to
Yeah,
get here. You're going to get plus 30.
plus 30. Good. Okay.
Yes. So you're going to at least, yes, this in a cool evening, okay? Because during the day it might go past that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
But which cities are you visiting, Dr. Florian?
Oh, we're in São Paulo. We're gonna go to Belo Horizonte. We're gonna go also to Salvador.
Very good, very good. São Paulo, Belo Horizonte, and Salvador. And I understand you're coming here on multiple purposes, right? You come as a businessman, as a CEO to visit some CEOs in Brazil, participate in some meetings with the CEOs of mining and steel companies, and also you're going to participate and meet some authorities, and you're going to talk to the press too, right? So busy
Yes.
trip.
Yeah.
Tell,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I mean, it's always my two hats position. So it is a business trip, meeting with several uh, with some CEOs and several personalities, but also I have a interview with a Brazilian TV station,
Mhm.
and at the same time we profit from the occasion to take care of my hobby, art, the art of science. Whenever it
Mm.
is a good subject where art and science get together, 1 plus 1 makes 5. The famous, trademark of this show. If art is one and science is one, 1 plus 1 makes 5. That's high amount of synergy. So this is my hobby, and then with that occasion, we're gonna find the best ways where science and art gets together,
I
and
see.
probably we're
If
gonna do some live whenever we have an occasion to find a good subject on this science and art together makes 5. 1 plus 1 makes 5. We're gonna go and show to our to show
very,
this synergy.
very, if my memory doesn't play tricks with me, I believe that this expression you realized in Brazil, wasn't it? You came up with this expression, this equation, 1 plus 1 equals 5, with when
Yeah,
you
I
mix art
think it was in
in France,
Las Vegas
Las
first, but it
Vegas,
was
probably.
the idea was first, but then was developed more in Brazil.
Yeah,
But the
probably it
first
was Las
idea
Vegas.
it was at Paris Hotel in Las Vegas. You remember?
Yes, exactly. You're quite right
Yeah,
about it. I mixed up.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
because
was
Vegas
okay, but
is
it was
stunning.
developed. It was
Yes,
the idea was there, but it was developed then in Brazil.
yeah. And one interesting thing, you said you're going to Sao Paulo, Minas, yes, Belo Horizonte, and also Salvador, yes.
Salvador.
And you're going to meet, you're developing, we cannot talk much about because they're still classified as projects, but you've been talking about, you've been developing a closer relationship to kids, to talk to science to kids? Why is this interest in children that are still in elementary school, in
Yeah,
junior high school?
yeah. As we are Logan Star Outreach is just raising the profile of scientists in the society, and we have had numerous successes in this direction. But with the proposal of two of my, my colleagues and employees, we started to develop a specific section to attract pre high school children to science. So this is a specific, a new thing that we have been developing recently, in order since attracting making children attractive to science. It's one of the ways to bridge that gap that we see today. Number of students in science and technologies
I
is
see.
going down all over the world, especially in developed countries. Basically, develop any type of country is going down, with an exception of few. So this way, we also are using a specific different way of achieving this goal. It was a complementary thing that probably it will be also successful. Not probably, but I'm sure it will be successful. And I have two passionate people that are working on this. They are working the scenarios and proposals, and so this is good. And then we think we're gonna develop this in Brazil also.
Very good, very good. And these kind of programs with the children are very important. Last live we had, last month, we talked about a phenomenon that has been happening in many countries in the world, is that every year we have less and less engineers graduating from,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, most universities in the world.
Mhm.
Are children losing interest in science and technology?
Oh, it's a complex phenomena. It's a complex phenomena. It starts from a perception. So, perceptions in the society are important. Sometimes they could be completely wrong, but people do not go to the fundamentals and then just go by perceptions. So as you know, this has been even in our website. It is exactly this. It is written. It's an old story. Uh, it was a poll done in Italy with teenagers. Okay, uh, what you want to become in the future?
Yes.
Okay,
And
but
what
before
was
going
the
there,
result?
before going there, I want to make two links. I mean,
Yes.
so first was a worldwide poll by the United Nations. What are the most pressing issues in the society in the world today? So
Mm-hmm.
the poverty was not there. It was at the end. It was the one who was in taking care of environment, sustainability, and basically saving the world. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so the majority was at these three. This is one of the articles I have published some years ago. At the same time, a poll in Italy. So, okay, the goal is good: saving the world, sustainability, developing the world, equity, and so on. But a poll in Italy with teenagers: what do you want to become in the future? 95% of them said movie and TV stars.
Wow. More than
Yes.
soccer players, because
Yeah.
Italians love soccer. Yes. Incredible, incredible.
So on the other side, this is a disconnect. On the
Hmm.
other side, we have to save the world, to be sustainable, to develop sustainability and protect the environment. And on the other side, what you want to become in the future? Movie and TV stars.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's
It's a
like
big disconnect.
This is an important issue, yes, because you cannot have great scientists if you don't have kids interested in science when they're
Yeah,
before they get to high school, because they
yeah,
cannot get interested in science when they get to university. Otherwise,
yeah, yeah,
they won't have a good enough formation for the academy, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, everything about in all direction is important. Everything is important. This is just one. So we are in use. I mean, we are working in parallel in all directions.
I
So
see.
everything is as a function of to make science, uh, very well, sought after profession.
I
And
see.
it's not today. It's going down all over the world.
Do you think kids learn science in a way that is not fun, for example? Because
Sure, that's
nowadays,
another reason.
uh,
Not only fun, but this is, the fun is linked with movie and TV stars,
I see.
because we see that and this is also bad perception, because to be a famous movie and TV star, it's not easy. You have to work a lot. But the
Yes,
perception
of
is,
course. And,
yes, but the perception is that
and the
it's not just
price is
gonna
very
pay.
high, right? You lose
Yes,
your that thing of being anonymous in the street.
yeah.
That's priceless.
It's, there are society perception. Unfortunately, they are a big part of the humanity. Perceptions are important, like they are in politics, like they are in every field. So perception is might be completely wrong,
Uh huh.
and but this is a drive in the society. One of the factors that drives the society. So we have to fight these perceptions, and to put the eyes on top of the dots on top of the eyes, in order to demystify the
Uh huh.
phenomena.
I see. I see.
Myths are plays a big role in the society today, in every field, in every field.
I see.
So
One thing that I notice about this, for example, especially for uh, because I see most kids still learn science like in elementary schools, like probably you and I did when we were children. Yes, and the world changed a lot from the time we were in elementary school.
mhm,
Yes, now you have
yeah,
computers and I mean you have tablets, smartphones, and all that. And I think this transition, like using science into the practical life, is not taught at school. So it's still something very, how would I
abstract.
say,
It's
abstract.
abstract.
This is the word exactly. Do you
Yeah,
agree with me with this?
yeah, I agree. Sure, I agree. That's what it
Yeah.
is. This is one of the factors, because there are many. We have to tackle the issues in all directions, art and science. But that's why what I'm saying, art and science are not, they're not, they are linked. There is no disconnection. That's why the artists of science and art of science, as our famous programs um, show, they are linked together. There is no really disconnect. Actually, when they are together, we have such amount of synergy that one plus one makes five in terms of
Yes.
synergy. So this is the issue to to undo that disconnection that exists between art, science,
Okay.
politics, you know, sports, etc., etc. So you mentioned tablets. These are product of science. They are not products. They are not products of TV and movie
Movie
stars.
stars. Yeah,
So
exactly.
movie stars, actually, one thing, they are very close to science. Today, the techniques in movie, in recording and sound and everything else that makes a movie, it's so you do not see, but they're all in the background. An actor that
Special
wants
effects and everything, right?
exactly, an actor that knows to use science as it should, all the development in science becomes even more famous. So science helps actors becomes
Mhm.
even more famous in the society, because the best in terms of technology, the movie, it shows, it attracts more people in the society. So again, there is no disconnection. The disconnection is artificial. It comes from ignorance. So we're saying TV and movie stars, they cannot do today without technology. So they are friends. Actually, they are not
Exactly.
enemies. They are friends of
And
science
you
and
see, this that
technology.
we are doing now, this is
Yeah,
we're doing art, live art, yes,
exactly. So
using
there is
technology.
no, exactly, there is no disconnection. The science is everywhere. It is not mentioned too often, though. It is taken for granted, and this is where is the disconnection. The disconnect.
Yeah, about science, yes. Uh, I want to link two facts. This week, 2 years ago, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing that you're in Toronto and you're not wearing a mask in a closed place.
Well, starting from
Yesterday you
tomorrow.
were. Yesterday you
Yeah,
were.
yeah, yeah. Starting from today and tomorrow, there will be
I
no
see.
more masks. But the mandate of mask is finished in most of the places.
This is a
So
national thing.
this is after probably exactly 2 years.
2 years, exactly.
Exactly 2 years, almost. We are 11th of March.
Yeah,
Basically,
two
exactly two
years.
years.
Yeah, two
Exact.
years.
Nobody can believe this. 2 years.
Yes. Now, I remember that exactly 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years. It was probably the 20th or the 25th. I don't remember the
Well, I
date.
remember I was in a trip. My last trip before COVID was in Europe, and I came back on 1st of March. And since then, there was no more. There were more trips.
No, but
And
then you wrote a paper about it. You wrote
yes,
an
yes,
article.
yes, in
Yes.
March. In March,
And,
5th of March, I guess. Yes, 5th of March.
it was, I
Yeah,
think it was the end of March, no? Well, whatever, it was in March.
yeah, yeah. What?
It was mid March, let's say mid
Yes,
March.
yeah.
Yeah. The date was not important. It was around 2 years ago. Yes. The world, you wrote that article, that scientific article, after the world had been totally paralyzed, something that was unbelievable. The world, Earth stopped, the world stopped. So the
Yeah.
level of pollution went down, people lost jobs, a lot of people died. And in a record time, we had, I don't know, but around five or six, or even more, maybe less than 10, let's say between 8 and 10 vaccines worldwide in a record time. Yes, less than a year after the pandemic. Yes, the vaccines were being tested already. And you said in this article, you nominated, you indicated some mistakes that were committed by
Failures,
governments,
failures.
some
Three
failures.
big
Yes,
failures.
yes. And you also said there the role of science. How important was science to, in this case, you're sitting in a public place, in Toronto, closed place in the airport without a mask, 2 years after this worst sanitary crisis the world has experienced in 100 years?
Well, it feels good. I mean, you know, to get into a taxi without a mask, it is really good. Hopefully, we'll continue. We cannot predict too much, but I think this is the last of it, and everybody will be happy about that. But 2 years is not a proud time in the history of humankind. It's
Mhm.
in the history of in the history of in the history of especially public health officials.
Yes, I
It's
see.
not a proud period. This has to be in the history. This will be shown as a black spot in the especially in the public health official theories and the way they reacted and the way they did. Sure, it was we were before an unknown, but in science, actually, in the research and development, sure, we are always in front of an unknown. And if you lose the consistency and you create a so the level of confidence of people around the world toward the public health officials is really at the bottom.
I
Sometimes
see.
they say good things now, but the problem is to gain the confidence of normal people. It's hard, and that's why we see all these problems we have today, conspiracy theories and fighting, and people do not believe in vaccines. There are a lot of theories. Uh, so this is a result of these contradictions, 2 years of contradictions in public health officials, going up and down,
It
not
seemed
following
like
science. Well,
governments were
actually,
a little lost, maybe.
well, government politicians cannot decide by themselves.
Are
They
we ready
listen.
for another pandemic? This one seems it's slowing down.
Uh,
Do you think we
Probably
got ready with this
no,
big
or
one?
well, probably no. If we don't draw the lessons, I don't think we are still ready.
I see.
Because we have not seen any real analysis what was wrong, what went wrong, and what should be done better. So I don't think we are still I don't think we are still ready.
We talked like less than a month ago about this. Do you have a flight? You have a flight to catch. How's your time?
Yeah,
How's your?
yeah, 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 yeah.
You
I have
have
to go.
time
I have
to
to
talk a
go.
little more.
Yeah,
You have to go. Okay.
probably
So
a couple of minutes more because they are
okay,
asking that I go down.
no problem. No problem. But
Yeah.
just to finish this, with two quick questions, and then I'll let you go. First, your article written 2 years ago. How much of it do you think you have gotten right after 2 years?
Probably 90%, and
Ninety
still is valid.
percent. Yes. So can you say that your accuracy rate is much higher than big academies, big universities around the world?
Well, not public health officials, because
Uh huh.
it depends. Each university had their own theories and so on. But public health officials,
Uh huh.
they were very contradictory in every direction. So, 95% of all the conclusions in my articles have been proven right.
Very good. Very good. Very
And it
good.
was an incentive also for the public health officials to come up with the curves, with the individual curves, in every city, in every country. They were working in generalistic terms. This caused the confusion.
Okay. Now, really quickly, I want you to invite everybody to watch your live broadcasts of the art of science from Brazil, from Sao Paulo, Belo Horizonte, and Salvador.
Yeah,
Of
we'll
course, not
try
at
to
the
see
same
what's
time,
the
in
best.
different days.
Yes, in different days we'll see in the free time to see what is the best, where art and science comes together. One, if art is one, science is one. One plus one makes five.
Very good.
if
Very
if
good.
we find where at least a synergy like this we're gonna bring to the public to make to bridge the link,
But when you
sorry,
are
to bridge the gap between science and art. Actually, there is no gap. It is the perception.
actually
So
okay,
I have to
so
leave now. They are
you have
saying
to
that
go.
I
Okay,
have to
have a
go.
nice flight, and we'll see each other in Brazil.
Okay.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good night there.
You too. You too. Have a nice flight.
Bye
See
bye,
you.
Mario. Thank you.